contemplating of how to do this video for quite a while, since on one hand, it is quite an interesting mouse, simply because of its size and its weight, but on the other, it's not really that different from the other low-weight Keychron offerings, be it the M3 Mini, the M2 Mini, the M3 Mini 4K, like they're all very similar in terms of how they handle. It's really just a design preference, right? Like, do you like the shape of it? I, for instance, even though I haven't actually talked about them yet, I don't like the M2 models at all. Not because of how they handle, but mainly because of how they look. As for the M4, I mean, the cool thing about this is its size, right? However, on the other hand, while I like the mini mice of Keychron, the ones they call mini, this one actually is a little bit too small for me. I found myself more often than not getting hand cramps. And I've only used the mouse in total for a maximum of not even a week, I believe. It was like 6 days maximum before I gave up. It is cool. It is nice of how light it is. It feels really cool when you're just playing around with it. But as soon as you start using it for more work-intensive stuff, like be it, for most people obviously would be gaming, right? But for me, it's more like in the realms of like using Photoshop, Excel, Final Cut Pro, right? These sort of things. Like where you have to do like repetitive things between very small margins, right? Moving the mouse from left to right and just like little things, click again, zooming, click again, and so on and so forth, right? It starts to feel like work, right? Well, it is work, but it actually feels like it too, as opposed to when you're using a mouse that actually fits the size of your hand. And again, like the really big mice, they do fit, obviously, but I just don't really like them. Whereas with the M3 Mini series, for example, I think they're perfect in terms of how, like compared to my hand size, right? My hands aren't actually that huge to begin with, but this is too small for me. Having said that, it does work. It is perfect in terms of like, if you're looking for something very small, something very portable, something that you can just like literally put in your pocket and don't even feel it. And yeah, it does what it's supposed to do, right? It is very low profile. It doesn't stand out. It kind of disappears on your desk if you have other things on it. And if you have a black desk, it kind of disappears anyway. But it is cool. It's just too small for me. In terms of the actual specs, you can see them over here somewhere. It's the same. We're not talking about anything specifically, even if some of the processes or whatever change, right? It's still all very samey. You really won't feel that much of a difference unless you're some sort of a gaming mouse connoisseur, if you will, right? Which is definitely not me, because like I said in the last video about these things, I have found my favorite, which is the M3 Mini 4K. And again, the 4K part is just because of the dongle that comes with it, which this one has the same one. So that's still cool. That's another bonus if you're interested in that sort of thing, just because it looks cool, right? I'm not even using the 4K option anymore, because whenever I'm charging the mouse, and that was the same with this one, it switches over to 1K anyway, right? So at that point I thought like it feels off. Like it's not better or worse in a sense, but it feels different. And it just made it easier for me to keep everything at 1K, and this was the same for this. So the 4K moniker at this point just isn't really worth it in terms of Keychron's offering. I'm not sure how it works for other mice, but considering that you cannot do this wired up, it's not really that big of a selling point, as in my opinion anyway. Would I recommend this mouse to anyone? Well, if you're looking for something small that feels nice like the other Keychron mice, but is really small and really lightweight, then yes, absolutely. If you're looking for something that's actually comfortable, then no, just no. It is novel, I give it that, but there are better offerings out there in my opinion. I mean, in terms of functionality, as I just said, they're all very samey anyway, so you really are looking for the design aspect of things, as I alluded to in the beginning. So if this is what you're looking for, this is what you should buy. If you're looking for something comfortable, look at all the other mice. As for the actual performance, I'll probably splice in another Resident Evil 4 clip or something here, since that's the only game, again, that I can actually play with a mouse from my selection of games. So yeah, that's all I have to say for it. I know it sounded all very negative, but it is a good mouse, don't get me wrong. But you need to want this. You need to want something that is this small, something that requires you to hold it in a certain way that allows you to actually still have a use for it. travel, for instance, right? Editing on a plane, working on a train, something like that, right? But for your everyday use in an office scenario at your desk, I can't see it. I just don't see how this would be useful, functional, productive. Again, it all sounds very negative, but if this is something you're looking for, then this is the answer. Like, it is small, it is lightweight, and it is cool looking, right? It has a very attractive look to it, in my opinion at least, and it comes with a cute little dongle, so there's that too. But that's it. Don't have anything else to say on it. I promised I would make a video on it, so here it is. I hope it helps someone. I'm not sure how, but if it does, all the more for it. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.